For most companies, the energy bill is just another cost, a number on a spreadsheet you have to pay. But what if I told you it could be something much, much more? What if you could turn that monthly expense into a serious strategic advantage? Okay, let's get into it.
So that's the big question, right? Is your energy bill just some fixed, unavoidable burden, or is it actually a massive opportunity that's just hiding in plain sight? Well, it really all depends on how you decide to approach it.
Think about industries like manufacturing or construction. The scale is just huge. Energy is one of their biggest operational costs. And with prices bouncing all over the place, it's also a major business risk that, you'd be surprised, often gets completely ignored.
Now, when it comes to dealing with this massive cost, companies usually go down one of two very different roads. One is, let's say, chaotic and reactive. The other is smart, systematic, and incredibly powerful. Let's break them both down.
So first up, you've got the ad hoc approach. This is the default for a lot of places. It's basically a few passionate employees running around, spotting problems, and trying to patch them up. There's no real system, no support from the top. It's just pure whack-a-mole.
And here's the thing. That whole approach, it's super fragile. Because it's all built around a few specific people instead of a solid process, any progress you make can just vanish the second those people get busy or leave the company. You're just left with a mess of inconsistent short-term fixes.
Okay, so what's the other path? Well, that's the management systems approach. And this isn't about one-off projects. This is about building a formal top-to-bottom system, a kind of engine, really, that's designed to constantly get better at managing energy.
And that's the beauty of it, right? This systems approach directly solves every single problem of the ad hoc way. It's driven by leadership, so it actually gets resources, it creates consistent results, and most importantly, it's built to last and keep improving year after year.
So, what's the playbook for building this system? Well, the global gold standard is ISO 50001. You can think of it as the blueprint, the framework that gives you all the tools and processes you need to manage your energy like a pro.
All right, so how does this thing actually work? I know it might sound complicated, but honestly, the entire standard boils down to this really simple, really powerful four-step loop that just repeats itself.
It's called the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle. And this is the beating heart of the whole thing. This brilliant little loop is what guarantees the system is always learning, always adapting, and always getting better. Let's do a quick walkthrough.
So, step 1, plan. This is your strategy session, your game plan. You're creating the official policy, digging into all your data to figure out where you're starting from, and setting crystal clear goals for where you want to go.
Next, you get to work, the do phase. And this is way more than just kicking off a few projects. This is about weaving this energy-first mindset into the very fabric of the company, from how you buy things to how you train people, to how you run your daily operations.
Okay, so you've done the work, but is it working? That's the check phase. You can't manage what you don't measure, right? So here, you're constantly monitoring, you're running audits, and you're staring at the cold, hard data to answer one question: are we hitting our targets?
And finally, you act. Based on everything you just learned in the check phase, you make smart adjustments. You fix what's not working, management reviews the big picture, and you hunt for new ways to get even better. And that takes you right back to the beginning, to an even smarter plan phase. The cycle continues.
Now, you're going to hear the acronym NEMS a lot. It just stands for Energy Management System. That's it. It's the formal structure, the engine that you build using that ISO 50001 blueprint.
Another big one is NPI, an Energy Performance Indicator. This is just a specific number you track to see how you're doing. So for example, how much energy does it take to make one single widget? That's an NPI.
Okay, so that's the theory, but what happens when real companies actually do this? Let's talk about the results, because honestly, they're pretty staggering.
Get a load of this. When Hilton rolled out ISO 5001 across their entire global operation, they saved over $750 million in just 8 years. That's the power of a real system.
And if you're thinking, sure, but what's the upfront cost? Check this out. General Motors de Mexico made all their money back on the investment in just over 1 month. I mean, that's an insane return on investment.
And the perks go way beyond just saving cash. As the energy manager for ArcelorMittal Cleveland points out here, it's about being more competitive. Having this certification makes you stand out to customers. It gives you a real edge.
And it's not just anecdotes. You're looking at hard data here.
Researchers compared facilities at 3M and Schneider Electric, some with the ISO system, some without. The result? The facilities with this system performed better. Way better. It's not even close.
So at the end of the day, the results really speak for themselves, right? This isn't just some nice idea. A systematic approach with ISO 50001 is a proven way to cut costs, lower your risk, and just become a stronger company overall.
Ultimately, what we're talking about here is a total mindset shift. It's moving beyond just paying the energy bill. It's about actively managing energy to create real value, shrink your carbon footprint, and build a more sustainable and more profitable business for the future.
So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. By just treating energy as a cost to be paid, is your business leaving one of its biggest opportunities for innovation and growth sitting on the table?